Hi everyone, it's me, Miss Farah Mills. I just wanted to jump on actually and just talk about something that I've noticed recently. Now, I'm a trans woman. I've been full time for 25 years, long time, and I've seen a lot of changes on the trans scene in the LGBT community over the years. And there's a few things I've noticed. Now, obviously, every generation is different. I'm not going to hate on people because they're younger, but I do want to point out a few things that I think are causing problems. So for me, I'm very open as a trans woman. If someone wants to ask me a question, then I'm quite happy to. And even if someone gets, even if they ask the question in the wrong way, I'm not going to lose my temper because they genuinely don't know what they're doing. And the whole point of them being able to ask you a question and feeling comfortable is that you're going to answer the question for them without jumping down their throat and accusing them of being transphobic. And I feel like a lot of people who aren't part of our community feel like they cannot ask a question, or they can't say anything because they feel like they're going to be jumped on, because people are kind of almost waiting for people to fuck up. And the thing is that you need to allow people to ask you questions, because you want people to understand you as a trans person and like you as a person. You may be the only trans person that they've ever come across or that they've met, and you want them to leave thinking, oh, they were really nice, like they were really open, they allowed me to ask questions, they were really sweet. And as opposed to, they ask you one question and you don't like the way they ask it, you scream at them, you jump down their throat, they will go away thinking, yeah, don't really like this group of people, they're not very approachable, that they fly off the handle all the time. Now I'm generalizing, but that's the way I've always approached things. The only way people are going to become comfortable around us and stuff is if we allow them in gently. And if we allow them to make mistakes and we allow them to ask questions, if we jump down people's throats or accuse them before they've even tried to ask a question, it's just not going to work. The thing is for us to all be fine with each other, we need to kind of integrate ourselves gently instead of screaming and shouting and demanding things. I agree that trans people deserve equality, but screaming and shouting is not the right way to do it. And I think if people like us, then they're going to be willing to support us and change. If they see us screaming and shouting and going on marches and demanding things and just being not very nice people, or saying things to trigger cisgender people by having all these trans people saying that they have periods and all this stuff, which you don't. Trans women do not have periods. That is ridiculous. I think until we get rid of that situation, I think things may calm down a bit. You have to remember that what's happening now to trans people happened to gay and lesbian people many, many years ago, and it was the same rhetoric that was being put into the newspapers, and that's died down and people have come to terms with it, or the majority at least have come to terms with that. And I think the same will happen. There's a lot of other aspects that are attaching themselves to trans women, transsexual women and transsexual men, that are confusing a situation. There's a big difference between a transsexual person and a transgender person. I am a transsexual person. I'm not a transgendered person. I just like to say that. Nothing wrong with either. I'm just saying there's a very clear distinction. And I think people get confused by that, and I wish that there was a bit more clarity. But my overall message is that just be nice. Allow people to ask you questions. If they don't know something, allow them to ask you. If they make a mistake, you can correct them in a nice, calm way. And then they will go, okay, I get that. If you scream and shout at people, it's never going to work. Screaming and shouting, demanding, being rude never gets you anywhere. You have to be nice. And unfortunately, even if it feels like we deserve this and we deserve that, you still need to be a bit humble and a bit nice, because that's the way things work. If you're nice to people, they're nice back to you. Have a great day, everyone.